Most joyful welcome to you, the assembled nobility of Corvallis. I am called Cleomenes, and I am a noble courtier here in the kingdom of Sicilia. And may I present to you all our dread sovereign, Queen Hermione of Sicilia.
Welcome to the Kingdom of Sicilia, noble citizens, and to this, the 4th annual performance of Justice Theater at the UUFC. This year's production is William Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale.
My queen, no one has heard of The Winter's Tale.
It's the one with the bear.
Oh, right. Do we have a bear?
Of a sort. You'll have to wait for intermission to see.
Ah, yes, intermission. We will have one 10-minute intermission.
During that intermission would be an ideal time to use the restrooms, or, although they will, of course, be available to you at any time. We do restrooms a little differently here in the Kingdom of Sicilia because of a persistent plague that has affected all the kingdoms hereabout. We have a bathroom pass system to make sure that everyone can stay as safe as possible while they're in the fellowship building. Outside the doors over there is a table with bathroom passes on it numbered 2 through 4. Bathroom number 1 is reserved for cast and crew. There are signs pointing to the way to each of the numbered restrooms inside. Take one of the passes, find the matching restroom, do your business, and return the pass to the table for the next person. If no passes are on the table, you'll just have to wait for a few moments.
Speaking of the plague, fair nobility of the audience, please keep your face mask on at all times unless you are hydrating. You all seem to be doing a good job. As performers, we can present the play without masks, but we'll be putting them on whenever we enter the building. The whole cast has been fully vaccinated.
And other than theater, vaccines are what today's performance is all about. Justice Theater at the UUFC is a community theater venture aimed at staging small-scale productions with pay-what-you-will performances supporting social justice causes.
And this year's donations are going to the Gavi Vaccine Alliance, an organization that is helping accelerate development, production, and delivery of COVID-19 vaccines so that anyone that needs them gets them. Some of you donated online when you reserved a ticket, and there are baskets available over there if you'd like to donate today.
This is our first outdoor Justice Theater production, and really our first full performance in a long time, since the pandemic has made doing in-person theater very difficult. We threw it together very quickly using a production model based loosely on original practice Shakespeare, which is a method of staging Shakespeare plays that aims to get closer to the methods that would have been used for productions in Shakespeare's day.
So we're performing this outdoors for you all with no sets, no lights, no sound system, just us actors, some scene blocks, and some fancy costumes. We didn't have a director either. The 8 members of the company devised blocking as an ensemble.
However, our noble audience may have noticed that there are rather more than 8 characters in the program.
Well, there is a lot of doubling, both in this performance and in Shakespeare's era of theater in general. Every actor in the company plays at least 2 roles in this production, and some of us play 3.
Performances in Shakespeare's day were mounted on an accelerated schedule, perhaps thrown together in a few days or a week or 2. We were a little more generous with ourselves and allowed about a month, but for any of you that have done a Shakespeare play on the side while having a normal life on top of that, you know that's a pretty tall order.
So we have a show prompter. This is Keto. They are very patiently going to look at the script as we perform. If at any point someone forgets a line, Keto will prompt them and the show will keep going.
We hope you enjoy your time today in the kingdoms of Sicilia and Bohemia as much as we've enjoyed ours. Thank you so much for supporting the work of Justice Theater, the UU Fellowship, and the arts. Now, Cleomenes, if you will escort me back to the garden, I should find my son, Prince Mamilius, who is capable of getting into a spectacular amount of mischief when my eyes are not directly on him.
At once, Your Majesty. Good nobility, please enjoy this afternoon's performance of William Shakespeare's The Winter's Tale. If you shall chance, Camillo, to visit Bohemia on the like occasion, You shall see, as I have said, great difference betwixt Bohemia and Sicilia.
I think this coming summer, the King of Sicilia means to pay Bohemia the visitation he justly owes him. Sicilia cannot show himself overkind to Bohemia. They were trained together in their childhood, and there rooted betwixt them such an affection which cannot but branch now. Since their more mature dignities and royal necessities made separation of their society, their encounters, though not personal, have been royally attorneyed with interchange of gifts and letters, loving embassies, that they seem to be together, though absent, shook hands as over a vast, and embraced as if from the ends of opposed winds. The heavens continue their loves.
I think there is not in the world either malice or matter to alter it. We have an unspeakable comfort of young Prince Mamilius. It is a gentleman of the greatest promise that ever came into my note.
I very well agree with you on the hopes for him. It is a gallant child, one that indeed visits the subject, makes old hearts fresh. They that went on crutches ere he was born desire yet their life to see him a man.
Would they else be content to die?
Yes, if there were no other excuse why they should desire to live.
If the king had no son, they would desire to live on crutches till he had one.
9 changes of the watery star hath been the shepherd's known since we have left our throne without a burden. Time as long again would be filled up, my brother, with our thanks, and yet we should for perpetuity go hence in debt. And so, like a cipher, yet standing in rich place, I multiply with 1. We thank you many thousands more that go before it.
Stay your thanks a while and pay them when you part.
Sir, that's tomorrow. I am questioned by my fears of what may chance or breed upon our absence. Besides, I have stayed to tire your royalty.
We are tougher, brother, than you can put us to it.
And I no longer stay.
1 7-night longer?
Very sooth tomorrow.
We'll part the time in betweens, and in that I'll no gainsay.
Press me not, beseech you so. There is no tongue that moves, none in the world so soon as yours could win me. And so it should now, were there necessity in your request, although 'twere needful I denied it. My affairs do even drag me homeward, which to hinder were in your love a whip to me, and my stay to you a charge and trouble. To save us both, farewell, our brother.
Tongue-tied, our queen, speak you.
I had thought, sir, to have held my peace till you had drawn oaths from him not to stay. You, sir, charge him too coldly. Tell him you are sure all in Bohemia is well. This present satisfaction the bygone day proclaims.
Well said, Hermione.
To tell he longs to see his son were strong. But let him say so then, and let him go. But let him swear so, and he shall not stay. We'll thwack him hence with distaffs. Yet, of your royal presence, I'll adventure the borrow of a week. When at Bohemia you take my lord, I'll give him my commission to let him stay a month behind the jest prefix for his parting. And yet, good deed, Leontes, I love thee not a jar of the clock behind what lady she her lord. You'll stay.
No, madam.
Nay, but you will.
I may not, verily.
Verily. You put me off with limber vows, but I, though you should seek to inspire the stars with oaths, should yet say, sir, no, going. Verily, you shall not go. A lady's verily is as potent as a lord's. Will you go yet? Force me to keep you as my prisoner, not like a guest. So you shall pay your fees when you depart, and save your thanks. How say you, my prisoner or my guest? By your dread verily, one of them you shall be.
Your guest, then, madam, to be your prisoner should import offending, which is for me less easy to commit than you to punish.
Not your jailer, then, but your kind hostess. Come, I'll question you of yours and my lord's tricks when you were boys. You were pretty lordings then? again?
We were, fair queen, two lads that thought there was no more behind but such a day tomorrow as today, and to be boy eternal.
Was not my lord the verier wag of the two?
We were as twinned lambs that did frisk of the sun and bleat the one at the other, and what we exchanged was innocence for innocence. We knew not the doctrine of ill-doing, nor thought that any did. Had we pursued that life, and our weak spirits not been higher raised with stronger blood, well, we should have answered heaven boldly, not guilty. The imposition cleared, hereditary ours.
By this we gather, you have tripped since.
Oh, my most sacred lady. Temptations have since then been born to us, for in those unfledged days was my wife a girl, and your precious self had not then crossed the eyes of my young playfellow.
Grace to boot. Of this, make no conclusion, lest you say your queen and I are devils. But go on, the offenses we have made you do will answer. If you sinned first with us, and that with us you did continue fault, and that you tripped not with any but with us,
Is he one yet?
he'll stay, my lord.
At my request he would not. Hermione, my dearest, thou never spokest to better purpose.
Never.
Never but once.
What have I twice spoke well? When was't before? I prithee, tell me. Cram us with praise and make us fat as tame things. One good deed, dying tongueless, slaughters 1,000 beyond that. Our praises are our wages. You may ride us with one soft kiss. 1,000 furlongs ere with spur we heat an acre. Yet to the goal, but once before I spoke to the purpose, when it hath an elder sister. Tell me, nay, let me have it, I long.
Why, that was when 3 crabbed months had soured themselves to death, ere I could make thee open thy white hand and clap thyself my love. Then didst thou utter, I am yours forever.
Why, 'tis grace indeed. Why, lo you now, I have spoke twice to the purpose. The one forever earned a royal husband, the other for some while a friend.
Too hot, to mingle friendship far as mingling bloods. I have tremor cordis on me, my heart dances, but not for joy, not joy. This entertainment may free face put on, derive a liberty from heartiness, from bounty, fertile bosom, and well become the agent. May, I grant, but to be paddling palms and pinching fingers as now they are, oh, that is entertainment my bosom likes not, nor my brows. Mamilius, art thou my boy?
Yes, my lord.
Effects. Why, that's my barcock. What, has smudged thy nose? They say it is a copy out of mine. Come, Captain, we must be neat. Not neat, but cleanly, Captain. Yet the steer, the heifer, and the calf are all called neat. Still virginaling upon his palm. How now, you wanton calf? Art thou my calf?
Yes, if you will, my lord.
Thou want'st a rough pass, and the shoots I have to be full like me. Yet they say we are almost as like as eggs. Women say so, that will say anything. Were they false as dice are, to be wished by one that fixes no bourne twixt his and mine? Yet were it true to say this boy were like me. Come, Sir Page, look on me with your welkin eye. Sweet villain, most dearest, my Collip, in thy dam, may it be? Affection, thy intention stabs the center. Thou dost make possible things not so held. Communicates with dreams. How can this be? With what's unreal, thou coactive art and fellowst nothing. And 'tis very credent thou mayest co-join with something, and thou dost. And I find it, that beyond commission, to the infection of my brains and hardening of my brows.
What means Cecilia?
Something seems unsettled.
How, my lord?
What now? How is it with you, best brother?
Are you moved, my lord? You look as if you held a brow of much distraction.
No, in good earnest. How sometimes nature will betray its folly, its tenderness, and make itself a pastime to harder bosoms. Looking on the lines of my boy's face, methoughts I did recoil 23 years, and saw myself unbreeched in my green velvet coat, my dagger muzzled, lest it should bite its master and prove, as ornaments oft do, too dangerous. How like methought I then was to this colonel. Are you so fond of your young prince as we do seem to be of ours?
Well, if at home, sir, he's all my exercise, my mirth, my matter. He makes a July's day short as December, and with his varying childings cures in me that would thick my blood.
So stands this squire office with me. We two will walk, my lord, and leave you to your graver steps. Hermione, how thou dost love us, show in our brother's welcome. Let what is dear in Sicily be cheap. Next to thyself and my young rover, he is a parent to my heart.
If you should seek us, we are yours at the garden. Shall us attend you there?
To your own bents dispose you. You'll be found, be you beneath the sky. I am angling now, though they perceive me not how I give line. Go to, go to! She arms her with the boldness of a wife to her allowing husband. Gone already, inch thick, knee deep, o'erhead and ears a forked one. Go, play, boy, play. Thy mother plays, and I play too, though disgraced apart, one that will hiss me to my grave. Contempt and clamor will be my knell. Go, play, boy, play. There have been, or I am much deceived, cuckolds ere now. And many a man there is at this present, even now while I speak this, holds his wife by the arm, and little thinks that she has been sluiced in his absence, that is pawned, fished by his next neighbor, by Sir Smile, his neighbor. Nay, there's comfort in it, whilst others men have gates, and those gates opened as mine against their will. Should all despair that have revolted wives, the tenth of mankind would hang themselves. Physic for it, there's none. No barricado for a belly. Know it, for it will let in and out the enemy with bag and baggage. Many thousand ons have the disease and feel it not. How now, boy?
I am like you, they say.
Why, that's some comfort. What, Camillo there?
Aye, my good lord.
Go play, Mamilius. Thou art an honest man. Camillo, this great sir will yet stay longer.
You had much ado to make us anchor hold. When you cast out, it still came home.
Didst note it?
He did not stay at your petitions, made his business more important.
Didst perceive it? They're here already, whispering, rounding. Cecilia is a so forth. 'Tis far gone when I shall gust at last. How came it, Camillo, that this great sir did yet stay?
At the good queen's entreaty.
At the queen's, be it, good should be pertinent, but so it is not. Was this taken by any understanding pate but thine?
Bohemia stays here longer.
Huh?
Stays here longer.
I? But why?
To satisfy your highness in the entreaties of our most gracious mistress.
Satisfy the entreaties of your mistress. Satisfy, let that suffice. I've trusted thee, Camillo, with all things nearest to my heart, as well my chamber counsels wherein, priest-like, thou hast cleansed my bosom. I from thee departed thy penitent reform, but we are deceived in thy integrity, deceived in that which seems so.
Be it not so, my lord.
To bide upon it, thou art not honest. Or if thou inclinest that way, Thou art a coward, which hawks his honesty behind, restraining from course required. Or else thou must be counted a servant, grafted in my most serious trust, and therein negligent. Or else, fool.
I may be negligent, foolish, and fearful. And every one of these no man is free. If ever willful negligence, it was my folly. If industriously I played the fool, it was my negligence not weighing well the end. If ever fearful to do a thing where I the issue doubted, whereon the execution did cry out against the non-performance, it was a fear which often vexed the wisest. These, my lord, are such allowed infirmities that honesty is never free of. But be gracious, your gracious sir, be more plain with me. Let me know my trespass by its own visage. If I then deny it, 'tis none of mine.
Have you not seen, Camillo? Ah, but you have, or your eyeglass is thicker than a cuckold tord. Or heard. For a vision so apparent, rumor cannot be mute. Or thought. Ah, but cogitation resides not in the man that does not think. That my wife is slippery. Thou wilt confess, or else be impudently negative to have nor eyes, nor ears, nor thought, then say, my wife is a hobby horse, deserves a name as rank as any flax wench that puts to before her trough plight. Say it and justify it.
I would not a stander by be to hear my sovereign mistress clouded so without my present vengeance taken. True, my heart, you never spoke what did become you less than this, which to reiterate were sin as deep as that, though true. I have loved thee.
Is whispering nothing? Is leaning cheek to cheek? Is meeting noses, kissing with inside lip? Stopping the career of laughter with a sigh, a note infallible of breaking honesty. Horsing foot on foot, skulking in corners, wishing clocks more swift. Hours, minutes, noon, midnight, and all eyes blind with the pin and web, but theirs only that would unseen be wicked. Is this nothing? Why, then the world and all that's in it is nothing. The covering sky is nothing. Bohemia, nothing. My wife is nothing, nor nothing have these nothings if this be nothing.
Good my lord, be cured of this diseased opinion, and betimes, for 'tis most dangerous.
Say it be, 'tis true.
No, my lord.
It is! You lie! You lie! I say thou liest, Camillo, and I hate thee. Pronounce thee a gross lout, a mindless drudge, or else a hovering temporizer that can at once see good and evil, inclining to them both. Were my wife's liver as infected as her life, she would not live the running of one glass.
Who does infect her?
Why, the he that wears her like her medal hanging about his neck, Bohemia, who, if I had servants true about me, they could see alike mine honor as their profits, their own particular thrifts, they might do that which would undo more doing. Aye, and thou, his cupbearer, who mightest despice a cup to give mine enemy a lasting wink, which draught to me were cordial.
Sir, I could do this, but I could. My lord, wine.
I could do this and that with no rash
Lord,
potion.
I could do this and that with no rash potion, but with a lingering dram that should not work maliciously like poison. But I cannot believe this rift in my fair princess, who so sovereignly being honorable.
You say that you love me. Make that thy question and go rot. Dost thou think I am so muddy, so unsettled, to appoint myself in this vexation? solely the purity and whiteness of my sheets, which to preserve is sleep, which being spotted is goads, thorns, nettles, tails of wasps, gives scandal to the blood of the prince, my son, who I do think is mine, and love is mine, without right moving to it. Would I do this? Could man so blench?
Sir, my lord, I must believe you. I do and will fetch off Bohemia for it, provided that when he's removed, your highness will take again your queen as once was yours, even for your son's sake, and thereby for sealing the injury of tongues and courts and kingdoms known and allied to yours.
Thou dost advise me, as even I my own course have set down. I'll give no blemish to her honor, none.
My lord, if he have but any honest reception from me, account me not your servant.
That is all. Do it, and thou hast the one half of my heart. Do it not, and thou splittest thine own.
I'll do it, my lord. Oh, miserable lady, but for me, what case stand I in? I must be the poisoner of good Polixenes, and my grounds to do it is obedience to a master, one whom, in rebellion with himself, will have all that are his so too. To do this deed, let villainy itself forswear it. I must forsake the court.
This is strange.
Ah, here comes Bohemia.
Methinks my favor here begins to warp, not speak. Good day, Camillo.
Hail, most royal sir.
Now, what is the news of the court?
None rare, my lord.
Well, the king hath on him such a countenance as he had lost some province, and a region loved as he loves himself. Even now I met him with customary compliment when he, wafting his eyes to the contrary and lowering a lip of much contempt, speeds from me, and so leaves me to consider what is breeding that changes thus his manners.
I dare not know, my lord.
How dare not? Do not. Oh, do you know and dare not? Be intelligent with me, 'tis thereabouts, for to yourself what you do know, you must, and you cannot say, you dare not. Good Camillo, your changed complexions are to me a mirror which shows me mine changed too, for I must be a party in this alteration, finding myself thus altered with it.
There is a sickness which puts some of us in distemper, but I cannot name the disease, and it is caught by you that yet are well.
How caught of me? If you know aught that does behoove my knowledge thereof to be informed, imprison it not in ignorant concealment.
I may not answer.
A sickness caught of me, and yet I must be answered. Dost thou hear, Camillo? What incidency thou dost guess of harm is creeping towards me? How far off? How near? Which way to be prevented, if to be? If not, how best to bear it?
Sir, I will tell you, for I am charged in honor by him who I think honorable. Therefore, mark my counsel. I am appointed him to murder you.
Oh, by whom, Camillo?
By the king!
For what?
He thinks, nay, with all certainty, as he swears as he had seen it or been the instrument to vice you to it, that you have touched his queen forbiddenly.
Then my best blood be turned to an infected jelly.
Swear his thoughts o'er by each particular star in heaven and by all their influences. You may as well forbid the sea for to obey the moon, as or by oath remove or counsel shake the fabric of his folly, whose foundation is built on his faith and will continue the standing of his body.
But how should this grow?
I know not. But I'm sure 'tis safer to avoid what's grown than to question how 'tis born. If, therefore, you dare trust my honesty, which lies enclosed in this trunk, which you shall bear along in pawn, away tonight. Your followers I will whisper to the subject, and will, by ones and twos and threes, or several posterns, remove them o'er the city. For myself, I put my fortunes to your service, which are hereby this discovery lost. Be not uncertain, for by the honor of my parents I have uttered truth.
My friend, I do believe thee. I saw his heart in his face. Oh, give me thy hand. Be pilot to me, and thy places shall still neighbor mine. My ships are ready, and my people did expect my hence departure 2 days ago. This jealousy is for a precious creature. As she's rare, must it be great, and as his person's mighty, must it be violent. And as he doth consider he is dishonored by a man who ever professed to him, why his revenges must in that be made more bitter. Oh, fear o'ershades me.
It is in mine authority to command the keys to all the posterns. Please, your highness, to take the urgent hour. Come, sir, away.
Take the boy to you. He so troubles me. 'Tis past all enduring.
Come, my gracious lord, shall I be your playfellow?
No, I'll none of you.
Why, my sweet lord?
Well, kiss me too hard and speak to me as if I were a baby still. I love you better.
Why so, my lord?
Well, not for because your brows are darker, yet darker brows become some women better, that there be not too much hair there, but a half circle or a semicircle made with a pen.
Who taught this?
I learned it out of women's faces. Look. Pray now, what color are your eyebrows?
Blue, my lord.
Nay, that is a mock. I have seen women's hair that is blue, but never their eyebrows.
Oh, harkye, the queen your mother rounds apace. We shall present our services to a fine new prince one of these days, and then you'd wanton with us if we would have you.
She is spread of lady to a goodly bulk. Good time encounter her.
What wisdom stirs amongst you? Come, sir. Now I implore you again. Pray you sit by us and tell us a tale.
Be it merry or sad.
As merry as you will.
A sad tale is best for winter. Oh, I am full of sprites and goblins.
Let's have that, good sir. Come you, sit by us and do your best to fright me with your sprites. You're powerful at it.
There once was a man.
Nay, sit down, then on.
That dwelt in a churchyard. Come closer. I shall speak softly, that yonder crickets shall not hear me.
Come on then, and give it in mine ear.
Was he met there, his train, Camilla with him?
Behind the tuft of pines I met them. Never saw him in scours so. I eyed them even to their ships.
How blessed am I in my just censure, in my true opinion. Camilla was his help in this, his pander. There's a plot against my life, my crown. All's true that is mistrusted. That false villain whom I employed was pre-employed by him. He has discovered my design, and I remain a pinched thing, yea, a very trick for them to play at will. How came the posterns so easily opened?
By his great authority, which often hath no less prevailed than so on your command.
I know it too well. Give me the boy! I am glad you did not nurse him. Though he does bear some signs of me, yet you have too much blood in him.
What's this? Sport.
Bear the boy hence! He shall not come about her! Away with him! And let her sport herself with that she's big with, for 'tis Polixenes has made thee swell thus.
But I'd swear he had not, and I'd be sworn you would believe my saying, howe'er you swerve to the nayward.
You, my lords, look on her, mark her well. Be but about you to say, she is a goodly lady, and the justice of your hearts will dare to add, 'Tis pity she's not honest, honorable. Praise her but for this, her without door form, ere you can say she's honest. Be it known from he that has most cause to grieve it should be. She is an adulteress!
Should a villain say so, the most replenished villain in the world, he were as much more a villain. You, my lord, do but mistake.
Ah, you have mistook, my lady, Polixenes for Leontes. O thou Fay, which I will not call creature of thy place, lest barbarism, making me the precedent. Should a like language used to all degrees and mannerly distinguishment leave out betwixt the prince and the beggar? I have said she's an adulteress. I have said with whom. More, she is a traitor. And Camillo a federary with her, one that knows what she should shame to know herself, but with her most vile principle, that she's a bed swerver, even as bad as those that vulgars give boldest titles. I am privy to this, their late escape.
No, by my life privy to none of this. How will this grieve you, when you shall come to clearer knowledge how you thus have published me? Gentle, my lord, you can scarce write me more truly than to say you do mistake.
No. If I mistake in those foundations I build upon, the center is not big enough to bear a schoolboy's top. Away with her to prison! He who shall speak for her is afar off guilty, but that he speaks.
There is some ill planet reigns. I must be patient till the heavens look on with a better aspect. Good my lords, I am not prone to weeping as our sex commonly are, the want of which vain dew perchance may dry your pities. But I have that honorable grief lodged here, which burns worse than tears drown. Beseech you, all my lords, with thoughts so qualified as your charities may best instruct you, measure me, and so the king's will be performed.
Shall I be heard?
Who is't that goes with me? Gentle, my lord, please that my women may be with me, for you see, my plight requires it. Oh, do not weep, good fool. When you shall know that your mistress hath deserved prison, then abound in tears as I come out. This action I now go on is for my better grace. Adieu, my lord. I never wished to see you sorry. Now I trust I shall. My women, come. You have leave.
Go to your bidding hence!
Be certain what you do, sir, lest your justice prove violence, in the which 3 great ones suffer. Yourself, your queen, your son. For her, my lord, I dare my life lay down, and will do it, sir. Please you to accept it, that the queen is spotless in the eyes of heaven, and to you. I mean in this which you accuse her.
Hold your peace.
It is for you we speak, not for ourselves. You are abused, and by some putter on that will be damned for it. Would I knew the villain.
You smell this business with a sense as cold as is a dead man's nose, but I do see it and feel it as you do feel doing thus, and see with all the instruments that feel.
If it be so, we need no grave to bury honesty. There's not a grain of it to face the sweeten of the whole dungier.
What? Lack I credit?
I rather you did lack than I, my lord, upon this ground. And more would please me to have her honor true than your suspicions. Be blamed for it how you might.
What need we commune with you of this, but rather follow our forceful instigation? Our prerogative calls not your counsels, but our natural goodness imparts this, which if you will not, or cannot, relish a truth like us, inform yourself, we have no more need of your advice.
My liege.
Either thou art most ignorant with age, or thou wert born a fool. Camillo's flight added to their familiarity, which was as gross as ever touched conjecture, that lacked sight only, not for approbation, but only seeing. All other circumstances made up to the deed doth push on this proceeding. Yet, for a greater confirmation, for in an act of such importance, 'twere piteous to be wild. I have dispatched in post to sacred Delphos, to Apollo's temple, Cleomenes, my lord, whom well you know of stuffed sufficiency. There from the oracle he will bring all whose spiritual counsel shall stop or spur me. Have I done well? Well, I am satisfied and need not know more than what I know, yet shall the oracle give rest to the minds of others, such as he whose ignorant credulity will not come up to the truth. And so, we have thought it good from our free person that she should be confined, lest that the treachery of the two fled hence be left her to perform. Come, follow us. We are to speak in public, for this business will raise us all.
To laughter, as I take it, if the good truth were known.
Good lady, no court in Europe is too good for thee. What dost thou then in prison? Good sir, you know me, do you not?
Oh, for a worthy lady, and one whom I much honor.
Pray you then conduct me to the queen.
I may not, madam. To the contrary, I have express commandment.
Here's a due to lock up honesty and honor from the access of gentle visitors. It's lawful, pray then, to see her women, any of them. Emilia.
So please you, madam.
Pray there, call her.
And, madam, I must be present at your conference.
Oh, be it so, prithee. Here's such a due, to make no stain, a stain as passes coloring. Oh, good gentlewoman, how fares our gracious lady?
As well as one so great and so forlorn may hold together, on her frights and griefs, which never tender lady hath borne greater, she is something before her time delivered.
A boy?
A daughter, and a goodly babe, lusty and like to live. The queen receives much comfort in it, says, my poor prisoner, I am innocent as you.
These dangerous, unsafe loons in the king, beshrew them. He must be told on't, and he shall... No, the office becomes a woman best. I'll take it upon me. Commend my best obedience to the queen. If she dares lend to me her little babe, I'll show it to the king. We know not how he may soften at the sight of the child. The silence, often, of pure innocence persuades when speaking fails.
Most worthy madam, your honor and your goodness are so evident that your free undertaking cannot miss a thriving issue. There is no lady living so meet for this great errand. Please your ladyship to visit the next room. I'll presently acquaint the queen of your most noble offer.
I'll use that tongue I have, if wit flow from it as boldness from my bosom. Let not be doubted, I shall do good.
Oh, now be you blessed for it. I'll to the queen. Please you come something nearer.
Madam, if it please the queen to send the babe, I know not what I shall incur to pass it, having no warrant.
You need not fear it, sir. The babe was prisoner to the womb, and is, by law and process of great nature, thence freed and enfranchised, not party to the anger of the king, nor guilty of, if any be, the trespass of the queen.
I do believe it.
You need not fear it. Upon mine honor, I will stand betwixt you and danger.
Nor night, nor day, no rest. It is but weakness to bear the matter thus, mere weakness. if the cause were not in being. Part of the cause, she, the adulteress! For the harlot king is quite beyond mine arm, out of the blank and level of my brain, plot proof. But she, I can hook to me. Say that she were gone, given to the fire! The moiety of my rest might come to me again. Who's there?
Lord,
How does the boy?
oh, he took good rest tonight. 'Tis hoped his sickness is discharged.
See his nobleness, conceiving the dishonor of his mother. He straight declined, drooped, took it deeply, fastened and fixed the shame on it in himself, threw off his appetite, his spirit, his sleep, and downright languished. Leave me solely, go, see how he fares. Fie, no thought of him. Very thought of my revenges that way recoil upon me. Camillo, Polixenes, laugh at me, make their pastime at my sorrow. They should not laugh if I could reach them, nor shall she within my power.
No, you must not enter.
Nay, good my lord, be second to me. Fear you his jealous passions more, alas, than the queen's life? A gentle, innocent creature, more free than he is jealous.
That's enough.
Madam, he hath not slept tonight. Commanded none should come at him.
Not so hot, sir. I come to bring him sleep. 'Tis such as you that creep like shadows by him and do sigh at each his needless heaving, such as you do nourish the cause of his awaking. I do come with words as medicinal as true, honest as either, to purge him of that humor that presses him from sleep.
What noise there, ho?
No noise, my liege, but needful conferences about some gossips for your highness.
How? Away with that audacious lady, Antigonus. I charge thee that she should not come about me. I knew she would.
I told her so, my lord, on your displeasure's peril, and on mine, she should not visit you.
What, canst not rule her?
From all dishonesty, he can. In this, unless he do as you have done, commit me for committing honor, trust it. He shall not rule me.
Lie you now, you hear. She'll take the rein, I let her run, but she'll not stumble.
My liege, I come and I beseech you, hear me. Your loyal servant, your physician, your most obedient counselor, yet that dares less appear so in comforting your evils than such as most seeing yours. I say, I come from your good queen.
Good queen.
Good queen, my lord, good queen. I say good queen, and would by combat make her so, were I a man, yea, the least about you.
Force her hands.
Let him that make but trifles of his eyes first hand me. Of mine own accord I'll off, but first I'll do mine errand. Your good queen, for she is good, have brought you forth a daughter. Here it is. Commends it to your blessing.
Out! Out! The mankind witch. Hence with her out a door, a most intelligencing bawd.
Not so, my lord. I am as innocent in that as you are in so entitling me. And no less honest than he is mad, which is enough. As this world goes, I'll warrant to pass for honest.
Traitors! Will you not push her out? Give her the bastard, thou dotard. Thou art woman tired, unroosted. Take it up, I say, and give it to thy crow.
Forever unvenerable be thy hands if thou takest up the princess by that forced baseness which he puts upon't.
He dreads his wife.
So I would you did. Then 'twere past all doubt you'd call your children yours.
A nest of traitors!
I am none by this good light.
Nor I, nor any that's here save one, and that's himself. For he, the sacred honor of himself, his queens, his hopeful boys, his child, betrays to slander, whose sting is sharper than the sword.
Oh, boundless tongue, who late have beat her husband, and now baits me. This brat is none of mine. It is the issue of Polixenes. Hence with it, and together with the dam, commit them to the fire!
It is yours. Might we lay the old adage to his charge, so like the father 'tis the worse? Behold, my lords, the eye, nose, lip, though the copy, the very mold and frame of the father, the trick of brow, nape, the valley, the pretty dimple of his chin, she smiles. Oh, the hand, the nail, the finger. Thou good goddess, justice, that made it so like to him that got it, if thou wert a most unnatural, I'll say no more.
I'll have thee burnt.
I care not. 'Tis an heretic that makes the fire, not she that burns in it. I'll not call you tyrant. But this cruel usage of your queen, unable to produce more accusation than your own weak-hinged fancy, something savors of tyranny. But I'll be done.
On your allegiance, out of the chamber with her. If I were a tyrant, where were her life? She durst not call me so if she did know me one. Away with her!
I pray you do not push me. I'll away. Look to your child, my lord. Jove send her a better guiding spirit. What needs these hands? You that are so tender o'er his foolishness will never do him good. So, farewell.
Thou, traitor, hast set on thy wife to this, my child. Away with it, even thou that hast a heart so tender o'er it. Take it up, and see it instantly consumed with fire. Even thou, none but thou, take it up straight. Within this hour, bring me word 'tis done, and by good testimony, or I'll seize thy life with what else thou callest thine. If thou refuse, and wilt encounter with my wrath, say so. The bastard brains with these my proper hands shall I dash out. Go, take it to the fire, for thou settest on thy wife.
I did not, sir. Beseech your highness, give me better credit. I have always served you truly, and beseech so to esteem of me. And on my knees I beg, as recompense of my dear services past and to come, that you do change this purpose, which being so horrible, so bloody, must lead on to some foul issue. Thus I kneel.
I am a feather for each wind that blows. Shall I live on, see this bastard kneel and call me father? Better burn it now than curse it then. But be it. Let it live. You that have been so tenderly officious to save this bastard's life, for 'tis a bastard, so sure as this beard is brown. What will you adventure to save this brat's life?
Anything, my lord, that my ability may undergo and nobleness impose. At least thus much. I'll pawn the little blood I have left to save the innocent. Anything possible.
Mark and perform it. Seest thou, for the failure of any point in it shall not only be death to thyself, but to thy lewd-tongued wife, whom for this time we pardon. We enjoin thee, as thou art liegeman to us. Thou bear this female bastard hence. Thou carry it to some remote desert place, quite out of our dominion, that there thou leave it, without more mercy, to its own protection and favor of the climate. As by strange fortune it did come to us, I do in justice charge thee, on thy soul's peril and thy body's torture, that thou strangely commend it to some place where chance may nurse or end it. Take it up.
I swear to do this, though a present death had been more merciful. Come on, poor babe. Some powerful spirit instruct the kites and ravens to be thy nurses. Wolves and bears, they say, casting their savageness aside, have done like offices of pity. Sir, be prosperous in more than this deed does require, and blessing against this great cruelty fight on thy side. Poor thing, condemned to loss.
No! I'll not rear another's issue.
Please, your highness, posts from those you sent to the oracle are come an hour since. The Lord Cleomenes, being well arrived from Delphos, has here landed.
Now will the great Apollo have the truth of this appear. Prepare your lords. Summon a session that we may arraign our most disloyal lady. For hath she been publicly accused, she shall now have a just and open trial. While she lives, my heart will be a burden to me. This sessions, to our great grief we pronounce. The party tried, the daughter of a king, our wife, and one of us too much beloved. Let us be cleared of being tyrannous, since we openly proceed in justice, which shall have due course, either to the guilt or the purgation. Produce the prisoner.
It is His Highness's pleasure that the Queen appear in person here in court. Silence!
Read the indictment.
Hermione, Queen to the worthy Leontes, King of Sicilia, thou art here accused and arraigned of high treason in committing adultery with Polixenes, King of Bohemia, and conspiring with Camillo to take away the life of our sovereign lord king, thy royal husband. The pretense whereof, being by circumstances partly laid open, thou, Hermione, contrary to the faith and allegiance of a true subject, didst counsel and aid them for their better safety to fly away by night.
Since what I am to say must be but that which contradicts my accusation, and the testimony on my part no other but what comes from myself. It shall scarce boot me to say, not guilty. Mine integrity, being counted falsehood, shall, as I express it, be so received. But thus, if powers divine behold our human actions as they do, I doubt not but that innocence shall make false accusation blush, and tyranny tremble at patience. You, my lord, best know, whom least will seem to do so, my past life hath been as continent, as chaste, as true, as I am now unhappy, which is more than history can pattern, though devised and played to take spectators. For behold me, a fellow of the royal bed, which owe a moiety of the throne, a great king's daughter, the mother to a hopeful prince, here standing to prate and talk for life and honor, for who pleased to come in here? For life, I prize it 'tis I weigh grief, which I would spare. For honor, 'tis a derivative from me to mine, and only that I stand for. I appeal to your conscience, sir. Before Polixenes came to your court, how I was in your grace, how merited to be so. Since he came with what encounter so uncurrent, I have strained to appear thus, if one jot beyond the bound of honor or an act or will inclining, hardened be the hearts of those that hear me, and my nearest of kin cry fie upon my grave.
I ne'er heard that any of these bolder vices wanted less impudence to gainsay what they did than to perform it first.
That is true enough, though 'tis a saying, sir, not due to me.
You will not own it.
More than mistress of what comes to me in name of fault, I must not at all acknowledge. For Polixenes, with whom I am accused, I do confess I loved him, as in honor he required, with such a kind of love as might become a lady like me, with a love even such, so and no other as yourself commanded, which not to have done would have been, I think, both disobedience and ingratitude to you and towards your friend whose love had spoke, even since it could speak, since an infant, freely that it was yours. Now, as for conspiracy, I do not know how it tastes, though it were dished to me to try. All I know is that Camillo was an honest man, and why he fled your court, the gods themselves, wotting no more than I, are ignorant.
You knew of his departure, as you know what you have learned Tayan to do in his absence.
Sir, you speak a language I understand not. My life stands in the level of your dreams, and that I'll lay down.
Your actions are my dreams! You had a bastard by Polixenes, that I but dreamed it. As you are past all shame, those of your fact are so past all truth, which to deny concerns more than avails. For, as thy brat hath been cast out, like to itself, no father owning it, which indeed is more criminal in thee than it, then shalt thou feel our justice, in whose easiest passage look for no less than death.
Sir, spare your threats. The bug you would fright me with, I seek. For me in life can be no commodity. The crown and comfort of my life, your favor, I do give lost, though I know not where it went. My second joy and first fruits of my body, from him I am barred like one infectious. My third comfort, starved most unluckily, is from my breast, the innocent milk in its most innocent mouth, haled out to murder. Myself, on every post, declared a strumpet, with immodest hatred, the childbed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion. Lastly, hurried here to this place in the open air before I have got my strength of limit. Now, my liege, tell me, what blessings I have here alive, that I should fear to die? Therefore, proceed. But yet, hear this. Make no mistake, no life. I prize it not a straw, but for my honor, which I would free. If I am to be condemned upon surmises, all proofs, sleeping else but what your jealousies awake. I say, 'tis rigor and not law. Your honors all, I do commend me to the oracle. Apollo be my judge.
This your request is altogether just. Therefore, and in Apollo's name, bring forth the oracle. Thou here shalt swear upon this sword of justice that thou, my lord Cleomenes, have been forth to Delphos, and from thence have brought forth this sealed up oracle by the hand delivered of Apollo's great priest. And since then you have not dared to break the holy seal, nor read the secrets in it.
All this I swear.
Break up the seals and read.
Hermione is chaste, Polixenes blameless, Camillo a true subject, Leontes a jealous tyrant, his innocent babe truly begotten, and the king shall live without an heir if that which is lost be not found.
Now blessed be the great Apollo.
Praised.
Hast thou read truth?
Aye, my lord, even as it is here set down.
There is no truth at all in the oracle. The sessions shall proceed. This is mere falsehood.
My lord the king! The king!
What is the business?
No, sir, I shall be hated to report it. The prince, your son, with mere conceit and fear of the queen's speed, is gone.
How gone?
Is dead.
Apollo's angry, and the heavens themselves do strike at my injustice. Oh, how now there?
This news was mortal to the queen. Look down and see what death is doing.
Take her hence. Her heart is but overcharged. She will recover. I have too much believed mine own suspicion. Beseech you, tenderly apply to her some remedies for life. Apollo, forgive my profaneness against thine oracle. I'll reconcile thee to Polixenes. New woo my queen. Recall the good Camillo, whom I proclaim to be a man of truth, of mercy. For being transported by my jealousies to bloody thoughts and to revenge, I chose Camillo for the minister to poison my friend Polixenes, which had been done, but that the good mind of Camillo tardied my swift command, though I with death and with reward did threaten and encourage him.
Oh, woe the while. Cut this lace, lest my heart cracking it break too.
What fit is this, good lady?
What studied torments, tyrant, hast from me? What wheels, racks, fires? What flayings, boilings, and leads or oils? What old or newer torture must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst? Thy tyrannies, together acting with thy jealousies, fancies, too weak for boys, too green and idle for girls of 9. Think what they have done and then run mad, indeed stark mad. for all thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it. That thou betrayedst Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did just show thee as inconstant and damnable ingrateful. Nor 'twas much thou wouldst have poisoned good Camillo's honor to have him kill a king. More monstrous, standing by whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter to be or none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire or done it. Nor is directly laid to thee the death of the young prince, whose honorable thoughts high for one so tender. But the last, where I have said, cry woe. The queen, the dearest, sweetest creature, dead. And vengeance for it not dropped down yet.
Oh, the higher powers forbid.
I say she's dead. I'll swear it. If word or oath persuade not, go and see. If you can bring tincture or luster to her lip, her eye, heat outwardly or breath within, I'll serve you as I would do the gods. But oh, thou tyrant, repent not these things, for they are heavier than all thy woes can stir. Therefore betake you to nothing but despair.
Go on. Go on. Thou canst not speak too much. I have deserved all tongues to talk their bitterest.
I'll speak of her no more, nor of your children. I'll not remember you of mine own lord, who is lost. Take your patience to you. I have done.
Thou didst speak but well when most the truth, which I receive much better than to be pitied of thee. Prithee, bring me to the dead bodies of my queen and son. One grave shall be for both. Upon them shall the causes of their death appear unto our shame perpetual. Once a day I will visit the chapel where their bodies lie, and tears shed there shall be my recreation, so long as nature will bear up with this exercise, so long I daily vow to use it. Come and lead me to these sorrows.
Thou art perfect, then, that our ship hath touched upon the deserts of Bohemia.
Aye, my lord. We fear we have landed an ill time. Skies are grimly and threaten present bluster. In my conscience, the heavens we have at hand frown upon us.
Their sacred wills be done. Go, get aboard, look to thy ship. I'll not be long before I call upon thee.
Make your best haste, and go not too far into land. 'Tis to be loud weather. Besides, this place is famous for the beasts of prey they keep upon it.
Go thou away, I'll follow instantly.
I'm glad at heart to be rid of this business.
Come, poor babe. I've heard said, but not believed, the spirits of the dead may walk again. If such thing be, thy mother appeared to me last night. In pure white robes, like very sanctity, she did approach my cabin where I lay, thrice bowed before me, then this speech from her. Good Antigonus, since fate
against thy better disposition hath made thy person for the thrower out of my poor babe, according to thine oath, places remote enough are in Bohemia. There weep and leave it crying. And since the babe is counted lost forever, perdita, I prithee call it. For this ungentle business put on thee by my lord,
Thou ne'er shalt see thy wife Paulina more. Affrighted much, I came in time to collect myself and thought this was so, and no slumber. Dreams are toys. Yet for this once, yea, this I do believe. Hermione hath suffered death, and Apollo would, this being indeed the issue of King Polixenes, it should here be laid, either for life or death, upon the earth of its right father. Blossom, speed thee well. There lie, and there thy character. There these. And still rest thine. The storm begins. Poor wretch. My heart bleeds, and most accursed am I to be enjoined by oath to this. Farewell. Day frowns more and more. Thou art like to have a lullaby too rough. I never saw the heavens so dim by day. Oh, a savage clamor. Well, may I get aboard? Into the chase! I am gone forever!
I would there were no age between 10 or 23, or that youth would sleep out the rest, for there is nothing in the between but getting wenches with child, wronging the ancientry, stealing, fighting. Look you here, would any but these boiled brains of 19 and 22 hunt this weather? Hark you now, they have scared away 2 of my best sheep, and I fear the wolf will sooner find them than the master. If I have them anywhere is by the seaside, browsing of ivy. Good luck, and it be thy will. What have we here? Mercies on us, a bairn! Oh, a very pretty bairn. Oh, a boy or a child, I wonder. Oh, a pretty one. A very pretty one. Oh, sure some scape. Although I am not bookish, yet I can read, O waiting gentlewoman, on the scape. This hath been some stair work, some trunk work, some behind door work. They were warmer that got this than the poor thing is now. Oh, I'll take it up for pity. Yet, I'll tarry till my child come. They hollered even now. Holla! Ah, yet art thou so near. Come hither, child, if thou wilt see a thing to tuck on when thou art dead and rotten. What ails thee, child?
I have seen 2 such sights, by sea and by land.
Why, how is it, child?
Oh, the most piteous cry of the poor souls. Sometimes to see him and not to see him. Now the ship is born, the moon with her mainmast, and anon swallowed with yeast and froth as you thrust a cork into a hogshead. And then for the land service, to see how the bear tore out his shoulder bone how he cried to me for help and said his name was Antigonus, a nobleman, but to make an end of the ship, to see how the sea flap-dragoned it. But first, how the poor souls roared, and the sea mocked them, and how the poor gentleman roared, and the bear mocked him, both roaring louder than the sea or weather.
Mercies on us! When was this?
Now! I have not winked since I saw these sights. The men are not yet cold underwater, nor the bear half dined on the gentleman. He's at it now.
Ooh, would I had been by to have helped the old man.
How would you have been by the ship's side to have helped her?
Heavy matters. Heavy matters. But look thee here, child. Now count thy blessings. Here's a sight for thee. Thou metst with things dying, I with things newborn. Look thee, a bearing cloth for a squire's child. Oh, look there. Take it up. See, let us see. I was told I would be rich by the fairies. This is some changeling. Look within, what's within?
Gold! All gold!
This is fairy gold. It will prove so. Take it up, hold it close.
Go you the next way with your findings. I'll go see if the bear be gone from the gentleman and, how much he hath eaten. They are never cursed but when they are hungry. If there be any of him left, I'll bury it.
That is a good deed. It is a lucky day, my child, and we'll do good deeds on it. Woo!
Aye. But please some, try all. Both joy and terror of good and bad that makes and unfolds error. Now take upon me, in the name of time, to use my wings. Impute it not a crime to me or my swift passage that I slide o'er 16 years, and leave the growth untried of that wide gap. Your patience, this allowing, I turn my glass and give my scene such growing as you had slept between Leontes, leaving the effects of his fond jealousy so grieving that he shuts himself up. Imagine me, gentle spectators, that now I may be in fair Bohemia. And remember well, I mentioned a son of the king's, which Florizel I now name to you. And with speed so paced to speak of Perdita, now grown in grace equal with wondering. What of her ensues, I list not prophecy, but let time's news be known when 'tis brought forth. A shepherd's daughter. And what to her adheres, which follows after it, is the argument of time. Of this allow, if ever you have spent time worse, ere now, if never, yet that time himself doth say, he wishes earnestly, you never may.
I pray thee, good Camillo, be no more importunate. 'Tis a sickness denying thee anything, a death to grant this.
It is 15 years since I saw my country, and though for the most part, I've been aired abroad, I desire my bones to lay there. And, you know, my king, my penitent king, my master, hath sent for me, for whose feeling sorrows I have some allay, or I may or ween to think so, which is another spur to my departure.
As thou lovest me, Camillo, wipe not out the rest of thy services by leaving me now. Oh, the need I have of thee thine own goodness hath made. Better not to have had thee than thus to want thee. But of that fatal country, Sicilia, prithee speak no more, whose very naming punishes me with a remembrance of that penitent, as thou callest him, and reconciled king, my brother, whose loss of his most precious queen and children are even now to be afresh lamented. Say to me, when sawest thou the Prince Florizel, my son?
3 days ago. What his happier affairs may be are to me unknown. But I have missingly noted that he is of late much retired from court and less frequent in his princely exercises than formerly he hath appeared.
I have considered so much, Camillo, and with some care, so far that I have eyes under my service that look upon his removedness, from whom I have this intelligence, that he is seldom from the house of a most homely shepherd.
Ah, I have heard, sir, of such a man who hath a daughter of most rare note. The report of her is extended more than can be thought to begin at such a cottage.
That's likewise part of my intelligence, but I fear the angle that plucks our son thither. You shall accompany us to the house, where we will, not appearing what we are, have some question with the shepherd. Now I prithee be my present partner in this business, and lay aside the thoughts of Sicilia.
I willingly obey your command.
My best Camillo, we must disguise ourselves.
Oh, these, your unusual weeds, to each part of you does give a life. No shepherdess but Flora appearing in April's front. This, your sheep shearing, is as a meeting of the petty gods, and you, the queen, on it.
Sir, to chide at your expense does not become of me. Oh, pardon that I do so. Your high self, gracious mark of the land, you have obscured in swain's clothing, and me, poor lowly maid, most goddess-like cranked up. Oh, but the feast in every mess have folly, and the feeders digest it with custom. I should blush, I think, to see you so tired. Swoon to show myself a glass.
Oh, I bless the time when my good falcon made her flight across thy father's ground.
Oh, now Jove afford you cause, to me the difference hath forged dread. Line. Your greatness hath not been used to fear, even now. I tremble to think that your father, by some accident, might come this way as you did. Oh, the fates, what would he say to see his work so noble, vilely bound up? What would he say? What would I? In these borrowed flauns, how would I behold the sternness of his presence?
Apprehend nothing but jollity. The gods themselves, humbling their deities to love, have taken the shapes of beasts upon them. Jupiter became a bull and bellowed, the green Neptune a ram and bleated, and the fire-robed god, golden Apollo, a poor humble swain, as I seem now. Their transformations were never for a piece of beauty rarer, nor in a way so chaste, since my desires run not before mine honor, nor my lusts burn hotter than my faith.
Oh, But, sir, your resolutions cannot hold if they are opposed as they must be by the power of the king.
With these forced thoughts, I prithee, darken not the mirth of the feast. I'll be thine, my fair, and not my father's. For I cannot be mine own, nor anything to any if I be not thine. To this I am most constant, though destiny say no. Your guests are coming. Lift up your countenance as if it were the day of celebration of that nuptial which we two have sworn shall come.
Oh, Lady Fortune, stand you auspicious.
See, your guests approach. Address yourself to entertain them sprightly, and let's be read with mirth.
My daughter! When my old wife lived upon this day, she was both peddler, butler, cook, both dame and servant, welcomed all, served all, would sing her song and dance her turn, now at upper end of the table, now in the middle, on his shoulder and her face afire with labor, and the thing she took to quench it, she would to each one sip. You are retired, as if you were a feasted one, and not the hostess of the meeting. Come you, bid these unknown friends to us welcome, for it is a way to make better friends, more known. Come, quench your blushes, and present that which you are, mistress of the feast. Come, bid us welcome to your sheep shearing, and your good flock shall prosper.
Sir, welcome. It is my father's will that I take upon me the hostessship of the evening. Sir, welcome. Oh, for you, there's rosemary and brew, keeping and seeming all winter long. Grace and remembrance to you both, and welcome to the shearing.
Oh, shepherdess, a fair one are you. Well, you fit our ages with flowers of winter.
Oh, sir, no, you're growing ancient, not yet at summer's death, nor to the birth of trembling winter. These are the fairest flowers of the season, the carnation and street gillivore, hot lavender, mint, savory, marjoram, the marigolds, which go to bed with the sun, and with him rises weeping. These are the flowers of middle summer and are for men of middle age. You're very welcome.
I would leave grazing were I of your flock, and only live by gazing.
Oh, out alas, you would be so lean that 1st of January would blow you through and through. Oh, now, my fairest friends, that I had flowers of spring, that I might bedeck upon your virgin branches yet, crown imperials, flowers of all kinds, the flower de luce being one of them. Oh, that I had garlands that I could strow o'er and o'er your shoulders.
What, like a corpse?
No, like a bank for love to lie and play on. Not like a corpse, but if not buried, then quick and in mine arms.
Oh, what you do still betters what is done. When you speak sweet, I would have you do it ever. When you sing, I would have you buy and sell so give alms, pray so, and for the ordering your affairs to sing them too. When you do dance, I wish you a wave of the sea that you might ever do nothing but that, move still so and own no other function. Each your doing, so singular in each particular, crowns what you are doing in the present deeds that all your acts are queen. But come, our dance. Your hand, my Perdita. So turtles pair that never mean to part.
I'll swear for 'em.
This is the prettiest low-born lass that ever ran on the greensward. Nothing she does or sees but smacks of something greater than herself. Too noble for this place.
He tells her something that makes her blood look out. Good sooth, she is the queen of cream and curds.
Come on, strike up.
Pray you, good shepherd, what fair swain is this which dances with your daughter?
Oh, they call him Doricles, and boasts himself to have a worthy feating, but I have it by his own reports, and I do believe him. He looks like sooth. He says he loves my daughter. I think so too, for never gaze the moon upon the water, as he will stand and read, as 'twere my daughter's eyes. And to be plain, I think there is not half a kiss to choose who loves another best.
But she dances featly.
So she does anything, though. I report that which should be silent. If young Doricles do light upon her, she shall bring him that which he dreams not of.
Is it not too far gone? 'Tis time to part them. He's simple and tells much. How now there, shepherd? Oh, your heart is full of something that does keep your mind from feasting.
Sooth, old sir, I know. The gifts she looks for me are packed and locked up in my heart, which I've given already, but not delivered. Oh, hear me breathe my life before this ancient sir, who it should seem hath sometime loved. I take thy hand, this hand as soft as dove's down, or the snow that's bolted by the northern blast twice o'er.
What follows this? Oh, but to your protestation, let me hear what you professed.
Do, and be witness to it.
Oh, and this, my neighbor, too.
And he, and more than he, and men, the earth, the heavens, and all. That were I crowned the most imperial monarch, thereof most worthy, were I the fairest youth that ever made I swerve, had force and knowledge more than was ever man's, I would not prize them without her love. For her employ them all, commend them and condemn them to her service and to their own perdition.
Fairly offered?
This shows a sound affection.
But my daughter, say you the like to him?
I cannot say so much, nothing so much. I cannot speak so well. The pattern of mine own thoughts betrays the purity of his.
Oh, take hands a bargain, and unknown friends bear witness to it. I give my daughter to him, and will make her portion equal his.
Oh, that must be in the virtue of your daughter. One being dead, I shall have more than you can dream of yet, enough then for your wonder. But come on, contract us for these witnesses.
Come, your hand, sir, and daughter, yours.
Soft, swain, a while, beseech you. Have you a father?
I have, but what of him?
Knows he of this?
He neither does nor shall.
Ooh, methinks a father is, at the nuptial of his son, a guest that best becomes the table. Oh, pray you once more, is not your father grown incapable of reasonable affairs? Oh, is he not stupid with age and altering rooms? Can he speak, hear, no man for man, dispute his own estate? Lies he not bedrid and does nothing but what he did being childish?
No, good sir. He has his health and ampler strength indeed than most have of his age.
By my true peer. If this be so, you offer him a wrong, something unfilial, a reason my son should choose himself a wife. But as good reason, the father, whose joy is nothing else but fair posterity, should have some counsel in such a business.
I yield all this, but for some other reasons, my grave sir, which 'tis not that you know, I not acquaint my father of this business.
Let him know it.
He shall not.
I prithee, let him.
No, he must not.
Oh, let him, son. He shall not need to grieve at knowing of thy choice.
Come, come, he must not. Mark our contract.
Mark your divorce, young sir, whom son I dare not call. Thou art too base to be acknowledged. Thou, a scepter's heir that doesn't fetch a sheep hook. Thou, old traitor, I am sorry that by hanging thee I can but shorten thy life 1 week. And thou, fresh piece of excellent witchcraft, who of course must know the royal fool thou copst with.
Oh, my heart.
I'll have thy face scratched with briars and made more homely than thy state. For thee, fond boy, if I may ever hear that thou dost but sigh that thou no more shalt see this knack, which never I mean thou shalt, will bar thee from succession, not hold thee of our blood, not our kin. Follow us to the court. Thou, churl, for this time, though full of our displeasure, yet we free thee from the dead blow of it. And thou, enchantment, worthy enough a herdsman? Yea, him too, who makes himself but for our honor within unworthy thee. If ever henceforth thou these rural latches to his entrance open, or hoop his body more with thy embraces, I'll devise a death as cruel for thee as thou art tender to it.
Oh, even here undone. I told you 'twould be thus. Beseech, of your own state take care. This dream of mine, being awake, I'll queen it no further. I'll just milk my ewes and weep.
Why, how now, father? Speak ere thou diest.
I can neither speak, nor think, nor dare to know that which I know. Oh, sir! Thou hast undone a man of 63 that thought to have filled his grave in quiet, yea, to have died upon the bed my father died, and lie close by his anxious bones. But no, some hangman must lay me in where no priest shovels in dust. Oh, cursed wretch, that knew this was the prince, and yet wouldst adventure to mingle faith with him. Undone! Undone! If I could die within this hour, I would have lived to die when I desire.
Why look you so upon me? I am but sorry, not afeard, delayed, but nothing altered. What I was, I am, more straining on for plucking back, not following my leash unwillingly.
Gracious my lord, you know your father's temper. At this time he will allow no speech, which I guess you do not trust to him. And as hardly will he endure your sight as yet, I fear. Then, till the fury of his highness settle, come not before him.
I not purpose it. I think Camillo?
Even he, my lord.
How often did I tell you 'twould be thus? How often said that my dignity would last till it were known?
It cannot fail, but by the violation of my faith. And then let nature crush the sides of the earth together and mar the seeds within. Lift up thy looks. From my succession, wipe me, father. I am heir to my affection.
Be advised.
I am, and by my fancy. If my reason will thereto be obedient, then I have reason. If not, my senses better pleased with madness to bid it welcome.
This is disaster, sir.
So call it, but it does fulfill my vow. I needs must think it honesty. Camillo, not for Bohemia, nor the pomp that maybe thereat gleamed. For all the sun sees, or the close earth wombs, or the profound seas, hides in unknown fathoms, will I break my oath to this, my fair beloved. Therefore, I pray you, as you have ever been my father's honored friend, when he shall miss me, as in faith I mean not to see him anymore, cast your good counsels upon his passion. Let myself and fortune tug for the time to come. This you may know, and so deliver, I am put to sea with her who here I cannot hold on shore.
He is unresolved, yet resolved to flight. Now were I happy, if his going I could frame to serve my turn. Save him from danger, do him love and honor, purchase the sight again of dear Cecilia and that unhappy king, my master, whom I so thirst to see. My lord, I think you may have heard of my poor services in the love that I have borne your father.
Very nobly.
If it may please you to think that I love the king, and through him what's nearest to him, which is your gracious self, embrace but my direction, if your more ponderous and settled project may suffer alteration. On mine honor, I'll point you to where you'll have such reception as shall become your highness, where you may enjoy your mistress, from whom I see there's no disjunction to be made, but by heavens forfend your ruin, marry her. And with my best endeavors in your absence, your unrequiting father, strive to qualify and bringing up to liking.
How, Camillo, may this almost a miracle be done, that I may call thee something more than man, and after that trust to thee?
List to me. This follows. You shall not change your course, but undergo this going. Make for Sicilia, and there present yourself and your fair princess, for I see she must be for Leontes. She shall be habited as becomes the partner of your bed. Methinks I see Cecilia opening his arms wide and weeping forth his welcomes. Ask thee, the son, forgiveness, as it were in the father's person, so that kisses the hand of that your fresh princess, or divides himself twixt his unkindness and his kindness, the one he chides to hell and bids the other grow faster than thought or time.
Worthy Camillo, what color for my visitation shall I hold up before him?
Sent by the king your father to greet him and give him comfort. Sir, the manner of your bearing towards him, as from you as from your father, shall deliver things known betwixt us three. I'll write you down, the which shall point you forth in every direction what you must say, so that he may perceive but that you are, you hold your father's bosom there, and you speak his very word.
I am bound to you. There is some sap in this.
Yes, of course, more promising than a wild dedication to unpaved waters, unstreamed shores, most certain.
But oh, the thorns we stand upon. Camillo, preserver of my father, now of me, the medicine of our house. How shall we do? We are not furnished like Bohemia's son.
Nay. But my letters, being there as soon as you arrive, shall clear that doubt.
And those that you'll procure from King Leontes
Shall satisfy your father.
Well, happy be to you, all you speak seems fair.
Fortunate mistress, take your sweetheart's hat and pluck it o'er your brow, muffle your face, unmantle you, and as you can, methinks, change the seeing that you are not even meant to see, that you may, for I see, I fear voices and eyes, or to shipboard get undescribed.
I see the play at hand and the part that I play in it.
What I shall do next is tell the king of this escape and whither they are bound, wherein my hope is that I shall force him after, in whose company I shall review Cecilia, whose sight I have a woman's longing.
Fortune speed us. Thus we set on, Camillo, to the seaside.
The swifter speed, the better.
See what a man you are now. There's no other way but to tell the king she's a changeling and none of your flesh and blood.
Nay, but hear me.
Nay, but hear me.
Go to.
She being none of your flesh and blood, your flesh and blood is not offended the king itself. Your flesh and blood is not to be punished by him. Show those things you found about her, those secret things, all but what she has with you. This being done, let the law go whistle, I warrant.
I will tell the king all, every word, yea, even his son's pranks too, who, I may say, is no honest man, neither to his father nor to me, to go about to make me the king's brother-in-law.
Indeed, brother-in-law is about the farthest off you could have been to him, and then your blood had been the dear by I know how much an ounce.
Well, there's that in this bardle.
Oh, God.
That will make him scratch his beard.
Comfort, good comfort. We must to the king show our strange sights. He must know 'tis none of your daughter, nor my sister. We're gone else.
Pray heartily he be at the palace.
Sir, you have done enough and performed a saint-like sorrow. No fault could you make which you have not redeemed. Indeed, laid down more penitence than done trespass. Do as the heavens have done. Forget your evil. With them forgive yourself.
Whilst I can remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget my blemish in them, and so still think of the wrong I did myself, which was so much that heirless it hath made my kingdom, and destroyed the sweetest companion that e'er a man bred his hopes out of.
True. Too true, my lord. If one by one you wedded all the world, or from the all that are, took something good to make a perfect woman, she you killed would be unparalleled.
I think so. Killed. She I killed. I did so, but thou strikest me sorely to say that I did. 'Tis as bitter upon thy tongue as in my thoughts. And good now, say so, but seldom.
Not at all. Good lady, you might have spoken 1,000 things that would have done the time more benefit and graced your kindness better.
You are one of those would have him wed again.
If you would not so, you pity not the state, nor the remembrance of his most sovereign name. Consider little what dangers by his highness's fail of issue may drop upon his kingdom and devour in certain lookers on.
There is none worthy respecting her that's gone. Besides, the gods will have fulfilled their sacred purposes. Has not divine Apollo said, was not the very tenor of his oracle, that King Leontes shall not have an heir till his lost child be found? Care not for issue. The crown will find an heir. Great Alexander left his to the worthiest, therefore his successor is like to be the best.
O Paulina, who hath the memory of Hermione, I know, in her honor. Oh, that ere I did swear me to thy counsel, that even now I might have looked upon my queen's full eyes, have taken treasure from her lips.
And left them the richer for what they yielded.
Thou speakest truth. I will have no wife, Paulina.
Will thou swear never to marry but by my free leave?
Never, Paulina, so be blessed my spirit.
Good my lord, bear witness to his oath.
You tempt him overmuch.
Until another as like Hermione as is her picture affront his eyes.
good madam.
I have done. But if my lord will marry, if you will, no remedy but you will. Give me the office to choose you a wife. She shall not be as young as was your former, but she shall be such as walked your first queen's ghost. It should take joy to see you in her arms.
My true Paulina, we shall not marry till thou bidst us.
That will be when your first queen's again in breath. Never till then.
One that gives himself out Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, and his princess, the fairest I have yet beheld, desires access to your high presence.
What with him? He comes not like to his father's greatness. His approach, so out of circumstance and sudden, tells us 'tis not a visitation framed, but forced by need and accident. Go, Cleomenes, bear them to our embracement. What train?
A few, and those but mean.
His princess, you say, with him?
Aye, the most peerless piece of earth, I think, that e'er the sun shone bright on.
Oh, Hermione, as every time must boast itself above a better god, so must thy grave give way to what's seen now. Sir, you yourself have said and writ so once. Your writing now is colder than that theme. There she was not then, nor was not to be equaled. Thus your verse flowed with her beauty once. 'Tis shrewdly ebbed to say you have seen a better.
Your pardon, madam, the one I have almost forgot. Oh, your pardon. The other, when she has obtained your eye, will have your tongue too. She is a creature, would she begin a sect, might quench the zeal of all professors else, make proselytes of all whom she but bid follow.
Oh, not women?
Oh, women will love her, that she is a woman more worth than any man. Women, that she is the rarest of all women.
Still, 'tis very strange he should thus steal upon us.
Had our prince, jewel of children, seen this hour, he had paired well with this young lord. There was not a full month between their births.
Prithee, no more. Cease. Thou dost know he dies to me again when talked of. Sure, when I shall see this gentleman, thy speeches may bring me to consider that which may unfurnish me of reason. They are come. Your mother was most true to wedlock, Prince, for she did print your royal father off, conceiving you. Were I but 21, your father's image is so hit in you, his very air, that I might have called you brother, as I once did him, and spoke of something wildly by us performed before. Most dearest, welcome. And your fair princess, goddess. I lost a couple that betwixt heaven and earth might thus have stood, begetting all wonder as you, gracious couple, do. And then I lost all my known folly, the society, amity, too, of your brave father, whom bearing misery, I desire once more my life to look on him.
By his command have I here touched Cecilia, and give all greetings that a king at friend can send his brother. And but infirmity, which waits upon worn times, hath something seized his wished ability. He had himself the lands and waters twixt your throne and his, measured to look upon you, whom he loves. He bade me say so, more than all the scepters and those that bear them living.
Welcome hither, as is the spring to the earth. And hath he too exposed this paragon to the fearful usage, at least ungentle, of the dreadful Neptune, to greet a man not worth her pains, much less the adventure of her person. The blessed gods do purge all infection from our air, whilst you do climate here. You have a holy father, a graceful gentleman, against whose person, so sacred as it is, I have done sin. for which the heavens, taking angry note, have left me issueless. And your Father's blessed, as he from heaven merits it with you, worthy his goodness. What might I have been, might I, a son and daughter, have looked on now such goodly things as you?
Most noble sir, that which I shall report will bear no credit, were not the proof so nigh. Please you, great sir, Bohemia greets you from himself by me. Desires you to attach his son, who has his dignity and duty both cast off, fled from his father, from his hopes, and with a shepherd's daughter.
Where Bohemia? Speak.
I speak amazingly, and it becomes my marvel and my message. To your court, whilst he was hastening in the chase, it seems, of this fair couple, meets he on the way the father of this seeming lass and his sibling, having both their country quitted with this young prince.
Camillo has betrayed me, whose honor and whose honesty till now endured all weathers.
Lay it so to his charge. He's with the king your father.
Who? Camillo?
Camillo, sir, I spake with him, who now has these poor souls in question. Oh, never saw I wretches so quick. They kneel, they kiss the earth, forswear themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens them with diverse deaths in death.
Oh, my poor father! The heavens have spies on us. They will not celebrate our contract.
You are married?
We are not, sir, nor are we like to be. The stars I see shall kiss the valleys first, the odds for high and lows alike.
My lord, is this the daughter of a king?
She is when once she is my wife.
That once I see by your good father's speed will come on very slowly. I am sorry, most sorry indeed, that you have broken from his liking where you were tied in duty. And as sorry that your choice is not so rich in worth as she is in beauty, where you might well enjoy her.
Dear, look up. Though fortune, visible and enemy, should chase us with my father, power no jot hath she to change our loves. Beseech you, sir, remember, since you owe no more to time than I do now, with thought of such affections, step forth mine advocate. At your request, my father will grant precious things as trifles.
Would he do so, I'd beg your precious mistress, which he counts but a trifle.
Sir, my liege, your eye hath too much youth in't. Not a month before your queen died, she was worth more such gazes than what you look on now.
I thought of her even in these looks that I made. But your petition is yet unanswered. I will go to your father. Your honor not being overthrown by your desires, I am friend to them and you, upon which errand I now go toward him. Therefore follow me, and mark which way I make. Come, good my lord.
Beseech you, sir. Were you there present at their relation?
I was by at the opening of the fardel, heard the old shepherd deliver how he came by it, whereupon, after some amazingness, we were all ordered from the room. Only this, methought, I heard the shepherd say. He found the child.
I would very much know the issue of this.
Ah, the oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter is found. Oh, such a deal of wonder is broken out within the hour that ballad makers cannot be able to express it.
This news, which is called true, is so like an old tale that the verity of it can be not trusted. Has the king found his heir?
Oh, most true. If ever truth were pregnant by circumstance. That which you hear, you'll swear you see. There is such unity in the proofs. The mantle of Queen Hermione, her jewel about the neck of it, the letters of Antigonus found with it, which they know to be his character, the majesty of the creature in resemblance of the mother, the affection of nobleness that nature shows above her breeding, and many other evidences aside, proclaim her with all certainty to be the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings?
No?
Oh, then have you lost the sight which was meant to be seen, cannot be spoken of? There might you have beheld one joy crown another, sowed in such a fashion that it seemed sorrow wept to take leave of them, for their joy waded in tears. Our king, being ready to leap out of himself for joy of his found daughter, as if that joy were now become loss, cries, "Oh, thy mother, thy mother!" Then asks Bohemia for forgiveness, then embraces his son-in-law, then again worries he his daughter with clipping her.
What, pray you, became of Antigonus that carried hence the child?
Like a tale of old still, which we'll have matter to rehearse, though credit be asleep and not an ear open. He was torn to pieces with a bear,
Well, what became of his bark and his followers?
wrecked the same moment of their master's death in the view of the shepherd, so that all the instruments which aided to expose the child were even then lost when it was found. But, oh, the noble combat that twixt joy and sorrow was fought in Paulina. She had one eye declined for the loss of her husband, another elevated that the oracle was fulfilled. She lifted the princess from the earth, and so looks in embracing as if to pin her to her heart, so that she might no more be in danger of losing. And then at the relation of the queen's death, the manner of how she came to it, bravely confessed and lamented by the king. How attentiveness wounded his daughter, till from one sign of gala to another, she did, with an alas, I would fain say, bled tears, but I'm sure my heart wept blood.
Are they returned to court?
No, the princess, hearing of her mother's statue, which is in the keeping of Paulina, a piece many years in the doing, now newly performed by that rare Italian master, Giulio Romano, who, had he himself eternity and could put breath into his work, would beguile nature of her custom. He so near to Hermione hath done Hermione, they say one would speak to her and stand in hope and answer. Thither, with all greediness of affection, are they gone, and there they intend to sup.
I have heard that she had some great matter in hand there. For 'tis said in private she has twice or thrice a day, ever since the death of Hermione, visited that removed house. Shall we thither, and with our company piece the rejoicing?
Let's away!
My brave and good Paulina, the great comfort that we have had of thee.
What, sovereign sir, I did not well, I meant well. All my services you have paid home, but that you, with your crowned brother, and these contracted heirs to your kingdom, my poor house, have vouchsafed to visit, it is a surplus of your grace which never my life may last to answer.
Oh, Paulina, we honor you with trouble, but we came to see the statue of our queen. Your galleries have we passed through not without much content in many singularities, but we saw not that was my daughter, came to look upon the statue of her mother.
As she lived peerless, so her dead likeness, I do well believe, exceeds whatever yet your eyes have seen or hand of man hath done. Therefore, I keep it lonely, apart. But here it is.
Oh.
Prepare to see the life, as lively mocked as ever, still sleep mocked death. Behold, and say 'tis well. I like your silence. It the more shows off your wonder. But yet speak. First, you, my liege, comes it not something near?
Her natural posture. Chide me, dear stone, for I may say indeed, thou art Hermione, or rather, thou art she in thy not chiding, for she was as tender as infancy and grace. But yet, Paulina, Hermione was not so much wrinkled, nothing so aged as this seems.
Oh, no, not by much.
So much the more our carver's excellence, as let's go by some 16 years, and makes her as she lived now.
As now she might have done, such as to my good comfort as is now piercing to my soul. Oh, thus she stood with such life of majesty, warm life, as now it coldly stands when first I wooed her. I am ashamed. Does not the stone rebuke me for being more stone than it? Oh, royal peace, there's magic in thy majesty, which has my evils conjured to remembrance, and from thy admiring daughter took the spirit standing like stone with thee.
And give me leave, and do not say 'tis superstition that I kneel, and pray, dear queen, maybe that ended when I but began. Give me your hand that I may kiss it.
Oh, patience. The statue is but newly set. The color's not dry.
My lord, your sorrow is too sore laid on that 16 winters cannot blow away so many summers dry. Scarce any joy had so long lived, no sorrow but killed itself much sooner.
Dear my brother, let him who was the cause of this have power to take off so much grief from you as he will peace up in himself.
Indeed, my lord, if I had thought the sight of my poor image would have brought you so, for the stone is mine, I'd not have shown it.
Do not draw the curtain.
Sir, no longer shall you gaze on't, lest your fancy think anon it moves.
Let be. Would I were dead, but that methinks already. What was he that did make it? See you, my lord, would you not deem that it breathed, and that those veins did verily bear blood?
Masterly done, the very life seems warm upon her lip.
The fixture of her eye hath motion in it, as we are mocked with art.
And I'll draw the curtain. My lord's so stirred that he'll think anon it lives.
Oh, sweet Paulina, make me to think so 20 years together. No settled senses of the world can match the pleasure of that madness. Let it alone.
I'm sorry that I have stirred you so, my lord, but I could amaze you further.
Do, Paulina, for this affliction has a taste as sweet as any cordial comfort. Still, methinks an air does come from her. What fine chisel could ever yet cut breath? Let no man mock me, for I will kiss her.
Forbear, my lord. The ruddiness upon her lip is wet. You'll mar it if you kiss it, and stain your own with oily painting. Shall I draw the curtain?
No, not these 20 years.
I will not stand on a looker on.
Either forbear, quit presently the chapel, or prepare you for more amazement. For if you can behold it, I can make the statue move. Indeed, step down and take your hand. Oh, but then you'll say, which I protest against, that I am assisted by wicked spirits.
What you can make her do, I am content to look on. What to say, I am content to hear. For 'tis as easy to make her speak as move.
it is required you do awake your faith. Let all stand still. Or, if any of you that think that it is unlawful business I am about, let them depart.
Proceed. No foot shall stir.
'Tis time. Descend. Be stone no more. Approach. Come, I'll fill your grave up. Stir. Nay, come away, strike all that look on you with marvel. Bequeath to death your numbness, for from death, dear life redeems you. Ah, you perceive. She moves. Start not. Her motion is as holy as you'll see my spell is lawful. Do not shun her. Nay, hold out your hand. When she was young, you wooed her. Now in death is she become the suitor?
Oh, she's warm. She's warm. Oh, if this be magic, let it be an art as lawful as eating.
She embraces him.
She hangs about his neck. If she pertain to life, let her speak too.
Aye, and make it manifest where she has lived, or how stolen from the dead.
That she is living, were it but told you, would be hooted at like an old tale. But it appears she lives, though yet she speaks not. Mark a while. Prithee to intervene, fair madam. Pray, kneel, and pray your mother's blessing. Turn, good lady. Our Perdita is found.
You gods, look down and from your sacred vials pour your graces upon my daughter's head. Oh, mine own, where hast thou been preserved, where lived? How found thy father's court? For thou shalt shortly hear how I, knowing by Paulina that the oracle gave hope thou wast in being, has preserved myself to see the issue.
Oh, there's time enough for that, lest they desire upon this push to trouble your joys with like relation. Go together, you precious winners all. Your exaltation partake to everyone. While I, an old turtle, will wing my way to some withered bough. There, my mate, was never to be found again. Lament till I am lost.
Lead us from hence, where we may each leisurely demand an answer to their part performed in this wide gap of time since first we were dissevered. Hastily lead away.
Dream when I want you, in my arms when I want you, and all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream, 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 dream. I need you so that I can die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine, anytime, night or day. Only trouble is,
Gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away.